we're tracking the fallout in that devastating ruling that found years of fraud by Trump and his companies. The Trump org reeling as a new court hearing was held today, and they are looking at what the punishment will entail. Now, this ruling came out late yesterday. It was big news. And for all the other pending cases against Trump, this one has swift financial consequences with fraud and financial tricks and a fantasy world, is what the judge said they were operating in, not the real world. Lies to banks based on sophistry and patently false, fatally flawed claims, among other judgmental terms that you see there by the judge. Now, experts and Trump lawyers are already scouring this ruling to make sense of what it means when you cancel business licenses, when you dissolve parts of the company. And we have more clues on what that means today, because Trump's lawyers were in court today asking the judge if the order means they have to sell assets, including Trump Tower. Would this oust the sons, Don and Eric, from their own homes, properties that are owned by one of the companies now deemed a fraud? Well, the answers could come in a detailed follow-up decision within the month. There is attention on Trump Tower, which the judge found was run as a business fraud, lies about its size and apartment features. Now, this is a setback for any leader or politician, but it hits home for Trump, who was, you remember, in Trump Tower when he famously went down that escalator. The tower is his home and his business. It's part of his public life, from that ride to his Apprentice TV show to the original, seemingly brash decision to create his spectacle building on Fifth Ave.
A new Trump building called the Trump Tower going up on Fifth Avenue.
We purchased a site with an old department store on it, the old Bonwit Teller store on Fifth Avenue and 57th Street next to Tiffany, and we had to really take the building down. I see the inner cities as being probably, in terms of a real estate or in a real estate sense, probably the most viable investment. I really am not looking to make tremendous amounts of money. I'm looking to enjoy my life, and if that happens to go with it, that's fabulous.
Well, Trump is not enjoying the scrutiny on that namesake tower. The ruling peels back the apparent business model where Trump and his companies push false and misleading valuations of skyscrapers, of golf properties. They fraudulently inflate properties, including the Seven Springs compound, a false valuation found for a Trump building on Wall Street. And there's nothing new about the exaggeration that you might see in big city real estate, certainly in a big city like Manhattan, or about Trump's routine of pushing well past that kind of exaggeration into the kind of fraud busted by this judge. And for those who find tonight's Judgment Day to be feeling like it's a little late, remember, that is partly because Trump and his lawyers, who were actually fined yesterday in a very unusual punishment, had a strategy of delaying, dithering, and prolonging every step of this and other cases, from the original deposition for this case to the testimony sought, to the filings, to when he finally did testify but didn't cooperate or explain why it wasn't fraud, but instead pled the fifth. The strategy is to not only duck court oversight, that's what happens in court, but it's also to exhaust everyone, including maybe you, a member of the citizenry, so that by the time the judgment finally does come, people are, even understandably, saying, we still hearing about this? We still talking about this? Isn't this old news? Well, I can tell you tonight, I do work in the news. This is not old news. This is new news right now. Trump's lawyers in court are facing these questions. They're literally out loud having to say, however embarrassing it may feel to them, they have to ask the judge, will Trump's sons face a kind of version of fraud eviction? Are there buildings Trump might actually lose control of or be forced to sell off under the control of those appointed by the court? And the judge has had enough of the blatant lies, even reaching for the judicial version of a pop culture reference, likening Trump's lies and these rebuttals to an old yarn from the Marx Brothers, you might recall. Who you going to believe, me or your own eyes?
Your Excellency, I thought you left.
Oh, no, I don't leave.
But I saw you with my own eyes.
Well, who are you going to believe, me or your own eyes?
Classic. The quote on the screen is not just because we're Marx Brothers fans around here. It is because in this ruling, the judge quotes that very line as the final rebuttal to Trump and his lawyers. Baseless, fraudulent, lying arguments.